Hey friends, it's me 12 Tides. I know it's been a while since I posted an SSX Tricky video, but I thought today we'd start a new series in which I showcase all of my current PBs and then analyze them after we watch the original run. In addition to that, I heard your comments, and we are indeed going to be doing SSX Tricky all shortcuts video, although be a little patient, it is going to take me some time to make that video. In addition to this, I just wanted to let you guys know that upcoming on my channel, we're going to be featuring some more content from SSX Tricky, but I also wanted to give a shout out to my band, The Economy. Recently, we filmed 4 music videos in Baltimore, Maryland, and at the end of 2023, hopefully in the beginning of 2024, I'm going to start posting those videos to this channel in addition to my SSX Tricky content. You might not know this about me, but I'm a professional artist and filmmaker outside of my SSX Tricky content. So I hope you guys enjoy that content as well as my SSX Tricky videos, which are going to continue into the future. Enjoy. Let's go.
Big Mac is in full effect.
Oh, I've been trying to get that score since I was like 15. I'm 31, just for reference. Okay, so we're going to start the analysis here. And I always like to start my run with just a little reset just to prove, if it wasn't already proof enough, that this is a real run. I only play SSX on a console. I've actually never played SSX on an emulator before. Which is also why you see interlacing throughout the video here and there, just because that's my capture card. I'd like to get a better one, but it is what it is. It's what I can afford for right now. So, okay, so let's get started with the run here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up to this rail, and this first 2 times here on the left can be really, really tricky. What you have to do is you have to time the rotation just right, and you also have to time your jump angle just right, and you pretty much have to do a sad sack here instead of a scooter air, which technically would be more point worthy, but it's much, much harder to land. You need like perfect spacing in order for that to happen. So I just opt to go for the sad sack since it's kind of the easy way out and I don't want to hate my life. So now what we're going to do is we're going to boost to turn very sharply here to get back to the red candy cane rail, which will take us backwards and allow us to do a large jump into a 3 times multiplier. You have to use the boost to turn that sharply. In other SSX games, specifically SSX 3, the more you boost, actually, the less sharp you turn. That's a notable difference between the 2 games. So we're doing the sad sack into the walking the dog combination into the 3 times there. One of my favorite multipliers. I love multipliers that only you've gotten them like right at the end. It just makes it a little bit more thrilling for me as a player. So this 2 times is one of the first like big mistakes that we're going to see. You can actually get a hand-in-hand into this 2 times, land on the rail, and then perform another one off the rail for a significantly higher score increase, but it is quite difficult, and I personally haven't yet seen that incorporated into a run. So you see the sad sack there, and then we just miss the candy cane rail there, and just hopping over the ditch there with a little experimental to get some more points. Just kind of a superfluous scooter air there, and then we come to this ramp and we don't really boost off it, so that way we don't get too much horizontal momentum, and we do a walking the dog there, so everything's going quite well. Do a sad sack into a hand-in-hand. That's a little bit of a tricky 3 times, because if you go too far down, you can spawn further down the course. You won't be able to get back up. And then we have the rail section back here. I love little combos in this game, and just the 3 Uber combo there I think is very, very nice. There are some other players that do a walking the dog back up that rail. They don't do as many Ubers as I do. It is less point worthy, but it is more consistent. The method I do is a bit more inconsistent, and so now we're swinging around here to do one of the first nail-biting multipliers, which is the 5 times here. So the 3 times is going to be worthless to us on this rail. The 5 times is what we're after. It's just kind of works out this way. So with this, we have to get on the rail, immediately sling just a teeny tiny bit to the left, boost off the rail, and perform 2 sad sacks into the 5 times multiplier into the ditch in the ground, and then spawn back inbounds. So pretty clean execution there. You can kind of flub it, but we got there with a good amount of spacing, and now we're going to go back up the rails to do that one more time before we proceed on down the course, because we want to get over to this rail over here, which is why I slung further to the left. Now we're going to go through the glass pane, and here comes the second nail-biting multiplier right here. So this 5 times is off this billboard here, and what you actually have to do is you have to jump just before the final breakable light object on the billboard, because this will push you up very, very slightly. But if you do it too early, you can bail the trick. If you do it too late, you won't get enough height, or you'll get too much height and you will miss the multiplier here. So it's very precise timing here. It's got to be a little over the left. You see it there. I thought I wasn't going to get it, but we did manage to get it with Mac's head rotating around the back, and then we're immediately into another nail-biting multiplier here, and this one is extremely critical because it is the most important multiplier in this run. It is the most point-worthy multiplier, which is you have to kind of sling here, get back onto this candy cane rail, going backwards, boost up. And you can do actually a sad sack into a hand-in-hand, but I opt to go for the double sad sack here because I wasn't exactly sure on my spacing to the ground. We get this 2 times with a good amount of height and a good amount of rotation. It's hard to do that. There's not a lot of time to set that one up. And then we come to this 3 times multiplier here. And in my recent runs, this 3 times multiplier was the run killer. I was either jumping too late, getting too much height, jumping over the multiplier, jumping under the multiplier, jumping with not the correct amount of spacing to get a walking the dog like I like. So you're really going to see me bow my head forward in concentration here, just making sure that my rotation are correct, making sure that my jump spacing was good. And now we're back into the run, but we're not out of the woods yet. We have several tricky multipliers coming up because here comes the ice river. This first one isn't so much a problem. It's more this second one. And the thing about this second multiplier is this 3 times, it's possible to get a significantly higher score out of it than what I got here. However, it requires extremely precise setup, and it's very, very difficult to navigate that on the ice. Also, at this point, nerves are definitely kicking in. I have passed the most valuable multipliers, so it's a string of small combinations in order to get that 1.8 million score that I've been vying for so long. So we're going to come up to it, and we're just going to do a normal scooter air there. Very low rotation. I'm not very happy about that. It's definitely a multiplier that can be improved on in later runs, but as it stands, I knew that it was possible to get the 1.8 by not really bumping up that 3 times. Also, it's worth noting that this is actually the point in the track where you would diverge to go get the hidden 5 times multiplier if you were going to do a true run that's going to push the score ceiling up really far. You would actually avoid this 3 times multiplier, go get a 5 times multiplier, but that 5 times multiplier is significantly more difficult than anything else in this run. It is just cruel. It is just cruel. So we're going to carry on down here. Here comes a fun multiplier. This one's not actually so bad to set up for. I get a double sad sack here. Again, I just don't want the chance of me not having the spacing that I thought I was going to get off the ground. You can, of course, do a sad sack into a hand-in-hand there, and then you see I bail this scooter air here, and this was the only bail of the entire run. I do wish I had gotten it. We would have seen about a 16,000 point increase in the run, but c'est la vie, I still got the score, as we all know. And now we come to this 3 times multiplier, and this 3 times multiplier is not that hard to get, but it is difficult when you're under the pressure of having this run. So you're going to see I'm just barely going to scrape it here, just like that. And man, I was sweating there. We also got knocked back there by the snowbank, which is a little concerning. You want to get down the course as fast as you can, so that way you can jump out any points you need. We had a very nice scooter air. And then I just kind of want to highlight that little sad sack that I did right there. This run would have not been possible if I had not thrown in that sad sack right there. I would have not had the time at the end to jump out a higher score. So that little sad sack, even though it's just a little guy with absolutely no rotation at all, I honestly didn't even expect to land it, but we did. And it was the saving grace of the run. So let's carry on here. Now we're entering the ice cave. We go over the lip. We complete a sad sack there with an experimental trick cancel at the end. which is very nice. Very hard to get air off that lip. It's very precise. And then we get a nice little hand-in-hand there. Could have gotten some extra rotations there, but I really didn't want an awkward landing because I want to get through this section quickly, and it's hard to because this area is all ice. And now we come to the billboard bounce here. So this is a critical moment here because I accidentally get on the left rail, and you actually want to approach this from the center rail or the right rail, and I approached it from the left. So what you're going to see is I'm going to get on, I'm going to try to get back to the center, the game's not going to let me, and I just decide to yellow it. I mean, there's really nothing else to do, and let's see how that works out. Of course, we already know. You saw me try to get on the center rail, bumped me back. It did kind of lower my rotation count a little bit there, so a little bit of sloppiness, but we still got it. We're still in contention for that 1A. We get another sad sack here. That one is well known and predicted, and I missed getting this 2x multiplier here, which I was sad about. I thought I'd stop the rotation, but I didn't. And then we come to the final 2x. I have a decent setup for it. I'm going a little too far to the left. I'm a little concerned here that I'm going to hit one of the girders that you will see presently. And here we go, and wow, we just missed it there. Able to land. I have a very high score. I know I can jump it out, but I need enough time. I glance down, I see I've got 12 seconds. I know I've got probably 3 jumps in me here, and that's exactly what we do. I get a short one there for 3,400. I know I need 4,000 points to cross into 1.8 million here. I know a good jump landed that does not have the duplication penalty will net me that score here, and that's exactly what I do. And wasting absolutely no time, I glance, I see I've crossed 1.8 million, and I just get across that finish line right there for a final score of 1.8 million 600. And as you see from my emotion on my face, I have been trying for this score for a very long time. I mentioned it in the video that I have been trying to get this score since I was 15 when I saw 9 Eddie Die 4 get this score. I am now 31, so it has taken me a considerable amount of time in my life to achieve this score. Obviously, SSX Tricky has not necessarily my primary focus in life at all times, but it is something that I've been gunning for a long time, and I'm just over the moon with this run. Just being able to say I got a 1.8 million run was just something that was really, really important to me. And yeah, that's it. You can see the emotion on my face here at the end, just kind of holding my face there. I mean, in that moment, I mean, I am, you know, thinking back to all those times in university, just playing SSX by myself all night long, skipping parties, skipping, you know, seeing friends, doing other things that normal human beings do, just like grinding to get that score. We finally managed to get it, and it was a sweet victory. So thank you to all who watched the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Catch you on the slopes.